The most attractive version of you already exists. You are just not living as him yet. There is a version of you that walks into rooms differently. He carries himself with a quiet confidence that does not need to announce itself. He knows what he wants and moves toward it without apology. He is present in conversations in a way that makes people feel genuinely seen. He has a life he is proud of, standards he maintains, a direction he is moving in with complete clarity and complete commitment. And the women he encounters do not just find him attractive, they find him unforgettable. You know this version of yourself exists. You have felt glimpses of him, in moments when everything was clicking, when you were fully in your own energy, completely unbothered, completely alive in what you were doing. And in those moments, you probably noticed how differently things felt, how differently people responded to you. That version of you is not a fantasy. He is not a distant possibility. He is the natural result of a specific set of decisions and disciplines that anyone can make and anyone can build. Today, we are breaking down exactly how to get there. Not through surface changes, through the complete, inside-out transformation that makes the most attractive version of you your permanent default. Before we go any further, subscribe right now and drop a like. This channel is built for men who are serious about becoming the best version of themselves and want the real, practical, psychology-backed truth about how to get there. And I want to say something direct to you before we start. If you have been waiting for the right moment to make this change, for when things settle down, when you have more time, when circumstances are better, I need you to hear this clearly. There is no better moment than right now. Every day you spend not building this version of yourself is a day he stays out of reach. The Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description is the most complete practical guide I have ever put together for men who are ready to stop waiting and start building. Men who have read it say it gave them the exact roadmap they had been searching for. The link is in the description. Scroll down and grab it right now. Because the most attractive version of you is not going to build himself. Here is the honest truth about why most men never become the most attractive version of themselves. It is not because they do not want to. It is not because they are not capable. It is because they are working on the wrong things in the wrong order with the wrong understanding of what attraction actually is. Most men approach self-improvement for attraction the way they approach any other goal. They identify the outputs they want, the results they want to see, and they work backward to the actions that seem most likely to produce them. They want to be more attractive, so they work on their physical appearance. They want to be more confident, so they practice being more confident in social situations. They want to be more interesting, so they develop their conversation skills. And all of those things have value. None of them are wrong, but they are all surface-level changes applied on top of a foundation that has not been addressed. And surface-level changes on an unaddressed foundation produce inconsistent results at best. The confidence comes and goes. The attractiveness appears in some situations and disappears in others. The progress never quite becomes permanent because it was never built into the foundation of who the man actually is. The most attractive version of you is not a collection of improved surface behaviors. He is a completely rebuilt internal foundation, from which all of those behaviors naturally emerge. And building that foundation is both simpler and more demanding than most men expect. Psychologist Dr. Carl Rogers, whose work on self-actualization and personal growth is among the most foundational in all of modern psychology, identified what he called the fully functioning person. A man or woman who is fully alive, fully present, and fully themselves in every moment and every interaction. His research found that people who are fully functioning do not have to try to be attractive, interesting, or compelling. Those qualities are the natural byproduct of being so completely and authentically themselves that the performance layer disappears entirely. Dr. Abraham Maslow, whose hierarchy of needs culminates in self-actualization, described the self-actualized man as someone who is problem-focused rather than self-focused, who accepts himself and others without excessive judgment, who is spontaneous rather than calculated in his interactions, who is guided by internal values rather than external approval. Every one of these qualities, documented across decades of psychological research as characteristics of the most fully developed human beings, is also documented in research on attraction as one of the most consistently powerful signals of high value in a man. The most attractive version of you is not a performance. He is the most fully realized version of who you actually are. And here is exactly how to build him. Step 1. Get clear on who you actually are. The most attractive version of you starts with one thing that most men skip entirely: clarity. Clarity about who you are when the performance is off. What you actually value when nobody is watching and nothing is at stake. What kind of man you want to be when there is no audience to perform for. What you actually believe, think, and feel about the world when you have no reason to manage anyone's impression of it. Most men have a very vague relationship with their own identity. They know who they are in relation to other people, who they are at work, who they are with friends, who they are when they are trying to impress someone. But the core, unperformed, fully honest version of themselves is something they have rarely spent time with. Get alone with yourself. Ask the questions most people avoid. What do I actually stand for? What would I refuse to compromise on regardless of the social cost? What kind of life do I genuinely want to build? Who do I want to be when I am fully myself with no audience? Your answers to those questions are the foundation of everything. Because a man who is clear about who he is communicates that clarity without words. And clarity is one of the most magnetic qualities that exists. Step 2. Build your body like it belongs to someone who respects himself. Physical training for the most attractive version of you is not about chasing a particular look. It is about building the physical relationship with yourself that a man who respects himself naturally maintains. When you train consistently, you are not just changing how you look. You are changing how you feel in your own skin. Your posture changes. Your energy changes. Your relationship with discipline changes. Your sense of what you are capable of changes. And all of those changes show, not just in the mirror, in the way you carry yourself in every room you enter. In the ease of a man who has proven to himself through consistent physical discipline that he does his word with himself. Train because you respect your body enough to take care of it. Not because you are trying to meet a physical standard that someone else set. And watch how that internal shift changes everything about how you present yourself to the world. Step 3. Build a life that you are genuinely excited to talk about. The most attractive version of you does not need clever conversation techniques. He has a life so full and so directed that conversations about it are genuinely interesting to anyone who hears them. He is working towards something. He has pursuits that consume him in the best possible way. He has opinions forged by real experience and real thought. He has stories worth telling because he is actually living rather than waiting for life to become interesting enough to engage with. Invest in your passions. Build skills that you are genuinely proud of. Create things. Read things that challenge you. Travel if you can. Pursue experiences that make you more interesting to yourself first. Because the man who is genuinely excited about his own life is the most interesting man in any room he enters. And genuine excitement about your own life is something that cannot be faked, cannot be performed, and cannot be replicated by any surface-level technique in existence. Step 4. Master your emotional state. The most attractive version of you is the man who is the calmest person in any emotionally charged situation. Not because he does not feel things, but because his feelings do not control him. He responds to the world from a place of genuine internal stability, rather than reacting to it from a place of emotional volatility. This is perhaps the single most visible difference between attractive men and average men. And it is entirely buildable through consistent practice. Practice noticing your emotional reactions before you express them. Build the habit of choosing your response rather than defaulting to your reaction. Develop the capacity to sit in discomfort, uncertainty, and social pressure without being destabilized by any of them. Research from Dr. Roy Baumeister found consistently that emotional self-regulation, the ability to manage your own emotional state under pressure, is one of the strongest predictors of social success, perceived attractiveness, and long-term relationship satisfaction. Master your state. And become the man that other people find themselves regulating around rather than the other way around. Step 5. Raise your standards and enforce them. The final and perhaps most transformative step in becoming the most attractive version of yourself is the decision to raise your standards and actually enforce them. Standards for how you spend your time. Standards for who you allow close to you. Standards for how you allow yourself to be treated. Standards for your own behavior and your own output that reflect the man you are committed to becoming, rather than the man you have settled for being. Every time you enforce a standard, you send a message to yourself and to everyone around you. This man knows his worth and he lives accordingly. And that message, delivered consistently through action rather than words, is the most powerful single signal of high value that exists in all of human social behavior. Raise the bar, for yourself and for what you accept from the world, and watch how quickly the world adjusts to meet the standard you set. Here is the most important thing in this entire video. The most attractive version of you is not a destination you arrive at. It is a direction you choose every single day. It is built one decision at a time, one discipline at a time, one standard enforced at a time. And the man you become through that daily commitment is not just the most attractive version of yourself, he is the man you were always capable of being. The man who has been waiting inside you for the day you decided to stop settling for less than your full potential. That day does not have to be someday. It can be today. Right now. With the very next decision you make. Start there. And do not stop. If this gave you the push you needed today, like this video and subscribe for more content that gives men the honest, practical truth about becoming their best. And let me be real with you one last time before you go. Inspiration is a starting point, not a destination. The men who actually become the most attractive version of themselves are the ones who take the inspiration and turn it into a system. A daily practice. A consistent commitment that does not depend on how motivated they feel on any given morning. The Magnetic Masculinity ebook is that system. It is the step-by-step, psychology-backed, completely practical guide to building the most attractive version of yourself from the inside out. Every step laid out clearly. Every principle backed by research. Every action connected to a real and meaningful outcome. I put 15 years into this guide. Not to inspire you for an afternoon, but to actually change the trajectory of who you are becoming. The investment is small. The return on that investment, in your confidence, your relationships, your sense of your own worth, is something money cannot put a number on. The link is in the description right now. Scroll down. Grab it today. And start building the man who has been waiting for you to make the decision. He is one choice away.